Well, I want to say good afternoon to everyone in Bangalore and everyone else who's joining me, maybe across India, across the world. It's very early morning here in Philadelphia, and I'm happy to come and speak to you about Delaware County Community College. Give me 1 second to advance my slides.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
Okay, give me
afternoon.
just 1 second. I'm having some trouble.
I think she can't hear us, right?
Can you hear us?
There we are. Okay, now I'm good.
Good afternoon.
So my name's sorry, go ahead.
Good afternoon, I said. Good afternoon, Katie.
Oh, good afternoon. Okay. So my name's Katie Lozier. I'm the Director of International Student Services and Recruitment at Delaware County Community College, and I'm here to speak to you today a little bit about our college and just a little bit about community colleges in general. So when I meet with international students and I talk to them about what their educational goals are, some of the things that I think are important for international students to consider are, the amount of time that you need to complete your education, what your financial resources are like, maybe the location that you want to study, either whether you want to study in the U.S. or if there's a particular location in the U.S. where you want to study, and what are, your academic goals. What are your academic credentials, and are you able to meet the students, the school's admissions requirements based on what your academic credentials are? So a lot of international students, when they come to the U.S. for education, choose the community college pathway. And actually a lot of domestic students in the U.S. also choose to attend a community college. And some of the reasons that students make that choice are, first of all, the lower cost of community colleges. Community colleges offer both domestic and international students open admission policies. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Community colleges in general are smaller colleges, so what we can offer is an individual student focus through small class sizes, a lot of different kinds of advising resources, and just the simple fact that you'll get a lot more attention from your professors when you're in a smaller college environment. And finally, community colleges, we offer a variety of programs and concentrations. We offer English as a Second Language ESL program. We offer career-focused degrees, and then we also offer transfer degrees. That's commonly known as the 2+2 program. It's a pathway for students to be able to attend top colleges and universities in the U.S. after beginning with the community college pathway. So I'll begin first with the financial advantage. A lot of international students find that U.S. education is very expensive, and we certainly understand that. This chart here shows the estimated full-time undergraduate budget for both public and private universities in the U.S. And you'll see that all the way on the right for Delaware County Community College, our total financial estimate, and that includes everything. That's tuition and fees, housing, transportation, books, and insurance for one academic year is just under $21,000. And you'll see that that's for a lot of students, half the price of attending a public or a private four-year college or university in the U.S. So that's one of the major financial advantages that community colleges, including Delaware County, can offer you. So why might you choose to go to a school like DCCC? I mentioned our open admission policies. At Delaware County, we require no standardized test scores for admission. So that means that you don't need to take the TOEFL or the SAT in order to be admitted to community college. As I said, we offer an ESL program, and our ESL program for students who might need that has additional tutoring that's included in that program. Our class sizes are very small. We have an average of 20 students per class, and that's even smaller for our ESL courses. We have a highly educated faculty that's dedicated to helping students. Faculty at community colleges are really focused on teaching. At larger research universities, they're focused on publishing, researching, and advising, and our faculty, they're entirely focused on teaching our students. And besides that, we have transfer agreements. I mentioned that 2+2 program with more than 40 universities and colleges. And a lot of those transfer agreements offer scholarships and guaranteed admission. So I'll go into detail about that a little bit later. But one of the most special things I think about Delaware County Community College is our location. So you might have heard of the state of Delaware. We're actually located in the state of Pennsylvania, and that's the state, we're in the county of Delaware that's located just next to the state of Delaware in the state of Pennsylvania. We're in a town called Media, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of the city of Philadelphia, which is a city in the U.S. that you may have heard of. You can see on this sign here that there's a saying about Media, which is that it's everybody's hometown, which means that it's a very friendly place, it's a very welcoming place. And I'm actually really proud to say that Media is my hometown. I actually grew up in Media, so I'm really happy to be back at the college working to be able to welcome international students, and I can say firsthand that it is a really great place to be. So this map just shows our exact location. You can see we're in the middle of the east coast of the United States. Media is just outside the city of Philadelphia. We're about 22 kilometers to Philadelphia, so it takes students around 30 minutes to get into the city of Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, you can find everything that a big city has to offer in terms of museums, arts and culture, really great restaurants, fantastic nightlife. But when you're studying at the college, you're out in the suburban location, which is really safe and has, easy access to the city if that's something that you want to do. We're actually also 2 hours from New York City and 2.5 hours from Washington, D.C. So that gives students access to both of those cities if you want to do any travel or tourism on the east coast of the United States. But more importantly, this area of the U.S., we have one of the highest concentrations of colleges and universities in the United States in the Philadelphia area. So if you're looking to start your academic career in the U.S., being in the Philadelphia area is one of the best places that I think you can be as a student. It's really important if you're going to be going to a school that you're able to, meet with admissions officials, go and visit the campus, and being in this particular location on the east coast of the U.S., you're very close to a lot of schools to really, be able to go there and get a first-hand view of those campuses that you might be attending after you graduate from community college. So just a little bit more about our programs that we offer for international students. Besides the ESL program that we have a special session in the summer, and those courses are offered year-round, community colleges in general will break down their programs into 2 different categories. The first is career degree programs. So we offer over 20 career degree programs, and the focus of those degrees is really to prepare students for full-time employment. So what a lot of students will do is come to the community college, get their 2-year associate's degree, and then after that immediately begin employment. But that being said, a lot of our career degrees, if you plan those degrees appropriately, they're also able to function as transfer degrees, which is the second category of programs that we offer for international students. We have over 20 transfer degree programs, and as I mentioned before, the goal of those programs is really that 2+2 program. You complete 2 years of study at a community college, and then you do 2 more years of study, and that gives you the total of 4 years to have your bachelor's degree program in the U.S. So this is just a little diagram that shows a little bit what that 2+2 transfer program pathway looks like. So these are some of our most popular majors for international students. You can see under the category of transfer degree programs, we have the majors that you'll see at most colleges and universities in the U.S. And we have very strong programs in all these areas. Business administration, computer science is a very popular program. For students who are interested, in engineering, we have an engineering program. Global studies for students who are interested maybe in going on for study in international relations. Obviously, math and science for health professions for students who are interested in healthcare fields. Under career degrees, as I mentioned, those career degree programs, a lot of students will take that degree and immediately enter the workforce, but almost all of these listed here, accounting, culinary arts, hotel and restaurant management for students who are interested in the hospitality field. We have 7 different concentrations with our IT degree programs. Many of those career degrees can also be used as transfer degrees for that 2+2 model. So I mentioned before a little bit about transfer, our 2+2 transfer partners. This is one of the most important advantages about community colleges, and one of the things that I think makes DCCC very unique is our transfer partners. So we have over 40 transfer agreements with colleges and universities in the Philadelphia region, and that's very typical of community colleges. You'll see the majority of the transfer partners that community colleges hold are with colleges and universities in the area surrounding that school. So a lot of the transfer agreements that we have, one of the great things that international students should know about and take advantage of is that these transfer agreements offer guaranteed admission, and many of them offer scholarships. So if you think about if you were in your home country applying to a top 100 university, say, for example, like Drexel University, you know, sometimes making that application from your home country can be difficult. All of the application requirements, the test scores that are required. It can be difficult for international students to obtain admission to schools like this. But when you choose the transfer pathway through a community college, we make your admission process extremely easy. And then once you've graduated from a community college, you can have guaranteed admission to a top 100 school like Drexel University. So that's the really important thing for students to know, is that taking advantage of the transfer agreements through the community college pathway just makes it that much easier for you to get into the school that you would, you know, hope to get into. So you can see some of our transfer partners here besides Drexel: Temple University in Philadelphia, St. Joseph's and LaSalle University in Philadelphia. In our local community, Westchester University, Widener University, Arcadia University. And these are just a couple of our transfer partners. As I mentioned, we have over 40 agreements, and that list is always growing. Our transfer office works really hard to put partner agreements in place to make that transfer process for students as easy as possible. So some of our most popular transfer admission pathways: for students in engineering, we have a program-to-program transfer to the BS in Engineering program at Drexel, and they have a number of concentrations within their engineering program. So just about any kind of engineering you would want to study, we can help you with that transfer process into Drexel. Drexel Engineering, their undergraduate engineering program is top 53 in the U.S. For students who are interested in business, I always make sure that they know about our dual admission agreement with Temple University. If you take your AS in Business Administration with us, you can transfer to their Business Administration program at the Fox School of Business. And their Fox School of Business is a top 50 undergraduate business program in the U.S. And finally, hospitality management. Hospitality management is a really popular program for international students. You know, I think if you have the kind of personality where you're interested in going abroad, interested in interacting with people from other cultures, then probably working in hospitality and tourism is a good field for you. We have a guaranteed admission agreement with Widener University's hospitality program. And Widener, one of their guaranteed admission perks is that they offer merit-based scholarships for international students who transfer in, from $10,000 up to $19,000 a year. And I also want to mention that we do have great transfer hospitality programs with Drexel and Temple as well. But the thing that I want to emphasize is that community college graduates, you can transfer anywhere. If you take advantage of those transfer partnerships, you can have certain advantages, but international students at Delaware County Community College transfer to schools all over the world. All of the schools listed here, international students from Delaware County have transferred to these schools in recent years. These are all top 100 schools in the U.S. You'll see the University of Pennsylvania, which is an Ivy League university in Philadelphia. Students go as far as the University of California, Davis, George Washington University in Washington, D.C., the University of Maryland. I had a student transfer there just last semester. Georgia Tech, a lot of students in our science and technology programs choose to go to Georgia Tech, which is a top engineering school in the U.S. So as you can see from this list, international students who graduate from DCCC, they can go to just about any four-year college or university in the U.S. that they like. So besides the financial advantage, you know, for students who graduate from Delaware County who are able to take advantage of the transfer pathways and transfer scholarships, I always like to make sure that students know when you complete a degree in the U.S., you're eligible for 1 year of work permission, and we call that OPT, Optional Practical Training. This diagram here shows the higher education system in the U.S. and you can see that the community college, that functions as the first 2 years of the 4-year undergraduate program. So if a student goes directly into a bachelor's degree program in the U.S., when they graduate from that bachelor's program, they're eligible for that year of OPT, work permission. But students who choose the community college pathway, you're also eligible for a year of OPT at every degree level. So if you complete your associate's degree in the U.S., you can have that year of work permission. And then when you move on to your bachelor's degree program, you get that year of OPT work permission again. So a lot of international students will choose this pathway as a way to gain as much practical experience as possible. Get a year of work permission, have another year of work experience on your resume. That's a really strong advantage for international students. So besides everything academic and everything, that's related to your studies in the U.S., I just like to make sure that students know that Delaware County Community College, it's just like any other college. So besides everything serious, we try to make sure that students have a lot of support and that students have a lot of fun. So just to tell you a little bit about our student services, we have a full-time international student office, and that's me. If you come to Delaware County Community College, I'm the Director of International Students. I'm going to be your International Student Advisor. And my favorite part of my job is meeting with students and working one-on-one with students for either immigration advising, academic advising, just talking to you about, your life in the U.S. and making sure that you have all the support that you need. Through our office, we have a college-run homestay program and assistance with off-campus housing. I work really closely with Candy Berlin. She's our housing coordinator, and her entire job is making sure that our international students have a great place to live and a safe place to live. At DCCC, we have academic advising, we have transfer advising, personal counseling, so you can be assured that there's always someone at the college who's there to help you with just about anything that you need, in addition to tutoring services that are available for all of our academic subjects. I'm really proud of our campus. We have high-tech laboratories, classrooms, and equipment. It's a really beautiful place for students to be able to work, to live and to study as well. So I want students to know that when you come to our campus, you're going to see state-of-the-art facilities. And besides that, we have a really active campus life. Our international student population, students who are coming from overseas and also just our really diverse community in Delaware County, we have students from over 50 different countries represented amongst our international student population. So that means that it's really easy for international students to feel comfortable on campus and be able to get involved in all of our clubs and activities. We have a fitness center where students can come and work out, in addition to all of our college athletic programs that's run out of our wellness program. We have an intercultural friendship program where we match domestic students and international students together for a conversation and friendship, and that's just a really wonderful thing for international students to know that our campus is extremely welcoming, besides our campus-wide commitment to diversity. And besides that, you've got really easy access to Philadelphia and beyond. We're really fortunate in Philadelphia to have a really diverse and welcoming international community. This is just a sampling of some of our student clubs. It's really important for students just in terms of building your resume to get involved on campus. So we have over 50 different clubs and activities for students to get involved in, things that either relate to your personal interests or to your academic interests. You can definitely find something that's interesting for you to do besides, getting involved on our sports teams. Actually, some of our international students are some of our top athletes on our sports teams. So here I have a testimonial from one of our international students from India. He wasn't able to join me on the call today because, as I mentioned, it's quite early in Philadelphia today. But Eric just graduated from our business program back in December, and he's currently taking advantage of his 1 year of OPT work permission. He actually found a job working as a supervisor in a technology company here in Philadelphia. So you can see here from Eric's comments that he's had a really wonderful experience at Delaware County Community College, and the statements that Eric makes here aren't unique to his experience. I think that the college does a really great job of supporting international students, making sure that we're giving you a welcome environment, giving you all the support you need. And at a community college, you're surrounded by students who are extremely motivated, especially our international student population, people who are really focused on obtaining their goals. And, I'm really actually extremely proud of Eric and everything that he's accomplished so far in terms of working towards his academic and his professional goals. So if you're thinking about applying to Delaware County Community College, we try and make that process as simple for you as possible. The first thing I'd encourage you to do is to visit our international student website. There you're going to find information not only about the admission process, but just about our programs in general. And you can really, take a look at what programs we're offering for you, maybe answer some of the questions that you might have. In terms of completing the international student application, I definitely encourage you to work with Study Metro on your application. They work directly with me with all of the international student admission documents, and working with them is going to make that process as easy for you as it can possibly be. If you work with Study Metro, I'm going to be the person personally making your immigration documents, and we make that process as quick as possible, because the next step is for you to receive documents from us, the Form I-20, and then work on applying to your student visa. So if you're thinking about applying, we actually have an admission deadline coming up if students are interested in coming for our summer session. The deadline for that is April 15th, but I know a lot of students are looking towards the fall admission cycle for the U.S. So if you're interested in coming to Delaware County this fall, our fall admission deadline is going to be July 15th. And we also welcome students to study in our spring semester, which begins in January. With our admission process, it's always ongoing, so it's possible for international students to start at the college anytime they want. If you want to come in January, our spring semester deadline is going to be November 15th. So that's all the information that I have to present to you today, and I certainly, would like to open it up to any questions that you might have.
All right, Kitty. Hi, this is Ronita here.
Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. So, Katie, I was wondering, you said, this is a pathway program provider particularly, right? So, when we say pathway programs, what are, besides, what are the most popular courses right now you are encouraging for the students to take up? Is there a particular program that you're encouraging as of now? Since the past few years?
I think that it's really entirely up to students, the kinds of things that they're interested in doing. Obviously, I think business is a popular major for international students. I'd say the majority of international students who come to the U.S. have a focus on business. But that being said, I think it's really important for students to understand, in order to work in business, it's not, always necessary that you major in business. We have lots of students who come through other programs. As I mentioned, our tourism and hospitality program is really popular. That's a great, that's a business field that people work in without necessarily studying business. Science and engineering is always strong programs. We have a state-of-the-art STEM center. If you've seen a lot of the pictures in the presentation show that facility. So students who are interested in science, technology, engineering, and math, simply because of our really strong transfer partners in terms of our engineering programs. I think that's I'd say that's probably the most second popular major for international students. But as I said, we offer over 40 different programs. So basically anything that you, personally in your heart that you feel that you want to study, you can find a program for that at a community college.
Right. Now you've mentioned that there's no standardized test exams, scores that is required by DCCC.
That's correct.
So besides that, because it's basically bachelor's program that you're talking about, pathways program.
So what we're offering is the first 2 years of the bachelor's degree. That's the associate's degree.
Right. So do you look at the GPA scores particularly? What would be your entry criteria?
In terms of our admissions requirements, really the only requirement is high school graduation. So we're looking for proof of high school completion. And besides that, we're looking for proof of financial support. And that's less for the college admission process. That's more for the student visa process. So the full annual financial estimate that I mentioned, which is just under $21,000 for this year, that's the only other proof that students need to provide is proof of that financial support. And as I said, that's not an admission requirement for the college per se, but that's when students go for their visa interview. They also need to be able to show the visa officer that they're able to financially support themselves for their education in the United States. But besides that, our only real true admission requirement is proof of high school completion.
Okay. Now, you said 12th, I mean, the high school program, and I mean, high school scorings is something that you look at, right? So what is the score that you are looking for from each candidate?
No particular score. We just want to see that the student has completed their high school education in India.
All right. And do you also look at, I mean, giving better, I mean, accommodate students who have got their studies done from, if they're doing a certification course after their high school or something, do you take that into consideration as well? I mean, any particular certification?
It could be something that students, if they've completed college credits, that they might want to transfer those college credits to Delaware County. That's one other thing, that if students are doing undergraduate education in India and they're going to transfer to a program at the community college in the same field, they might want to have their college credits evaluated so that they don't, you know, if they've already taken a mathematics course in India, they don't have to take it again at Delaware County.
Right.
But that's not considered in terms of admission. We're just looking for, you know, students who are interested in coming to the college, and we'll take all students regardless of their, you know, academic record.
So you're mainly encouraging the admissions as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. All right.
So online participants, if you have any question, please type it out. I will put it across to Katie. Online participants, if do you have any question? Any more question in the room? Okay. Thank you very much, Katie. I don't think we have any further question from the participants.
Wonderful. That's fine. And I just want to encourage students again to work with Study Metro. If you're interested in applying to Delaware County, we'd be really pleased to receive your application from them.
Sure. Thank you very much. I know it's very early in the morning, and thank you very much for being able to make this.
I got an early start on my day. It's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Take care. You too, hon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.